Hello there. I have a couple more Valentines DIYs that I want to share with you, and I can't wait. They turned out really great, super cute with kittens and puppies. Oh my. I'm Whitney with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and let's jump into our craft room. Now, to get started on this first one, I have this, it says tall burlap bag. I don't know if that's what I call tall. It just is a little sack. Got it at the Dollar Tree in the Crafter Square section. And I got two of them. I had first planned on making a little pillow out of it, but it kind of morphed into what you saw in the thumbnail. It's a cute little tag. So I'm only going to cut one side out of it. Now it's burlap on one side, but it has this kind of waxy type plastic liner on the inside. So I was figuring, oh, it's not going to bleed very much. But what I want to do is I'm going to make a puppy. This one's going to be a puppy themed or dog themed stamp. Now this is IOD's puppies, Christmas puppies or puppies and kittens for the Christmas stuff. And I get all of my Iron Orchids designs, IOD stamps, DIY paints, and waxes. I get everything from Lori at miltonsdaughter.com. So you saw that. There's a link and a code in my description. See what applies. It's a great website. Lori's a great person. She'll take care of you. Now, I was trying to figure out which puppy I wanted to use because even though these are Christmas themed, we don't have to use them for Christmas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some masking tape and I'm going to cover over the Christmassy part of it. So it's trying to get it to look like the dog is just sitting on a box of some sort. So you don't really see, the holly at the bottom. And I'm going to make it work for me. So I covered the bottom, as you can see here, with masking tape. And I'm still going to use my regular ink. This is archival ink in the color Black Soot. This is in my Amazon shop. Should you want to take a peek, there's a link in my description and pinned comment below. Most of my project supplies you'll find there. And I'm going to ink up my stamp really, really well. And I'm going to see. I was confused. I didn't know if this was going to work out really well on this particular burlap, but it worked out really pretty. And then for some reason, I felt the need to ink it back up and stamp it on the paper here to see what it looks like. Because you do lose some of the detail on this particular burlap fabric, but it's such a great stamp that you still see it's a cute little puppy. And now we're going to use letterpress, and letterpress is also IOD. It's a really good investment on this one because you get 3 different fonts, and I have used this one many times, and I promise you I will continue to use it in many more videos to come. Again, take a look at that. There's a link in my description to Milton's Daughter to get these stamp sets if you choose to. Otherwise, you can just watch me enjoy them because I love making. I don't know what it is about this stamp set. I've been using it a lot. Just coming up with like funny little sayings. So for this one, for our little doggy here, I'm going to use the letters I'm just going to spell out I woof you because I'm silly. And again, I don't know why I'm stamping it on the paper to the right. And then at some point I was like, I could do something with this. And you'll see me cut it out. You'll see me have it, off to the side. And then I tried to do like not a wood burning, but a paper burning project with it. Yeah, I burnt it a little bit too much. It didn't work out. So you'll see that it's off to the right. You'll see it join us a few times, but then you'll see it disappear because the project itself that I had an idea for, it didn't come to pass. So now I'm taking my stamp after I put I woof you on there, and I'm going to trim down the sides to make it even. I originally, again, had thought I would put this on maybe frame it somehow or tack it down with some tacks onto a piece of wood, but then I found this is a double set of tags I got at Dollar Tree. I got it probably over a couple years ago. You get a 2-pack, and I found it in the school supply section. It was hanging with all the office and school supplies, which was odd. It wasn't in the Crafter Square or any of the decorations or nothing. So it was a couple of years ago that I got them, honestly, but any event, you can get tags or tag-shaped items at pretty much everywhere. What I'm doing is I'm taking my little burlap stamped puppy, and I'm going to wrap this tag like I would a present, or like you're upholstering it is the best way. So I'm making folds like it's a gift, basically, and I'm making sure that they're nice and tight on the sides so that, the tag itself looks properly covered, like a book, or like I keep saying upholstery because it reminds me of upholstering. Now, my letters are a little crooked. They're a little off to the left and the right, but I think that adds character. Just like everything is a little bit weird. Everything's a little asymmetrical. Nothing is absolutely identical or perfect, and it doesn't have to be. And then I cover the back with some craft tape. That is my go-to for making things look a little bit more professional, a little bit better retail quality-esque. Nothing's really 100% retail because everything's one of a kind that comes out of my craft room. Definitely one of a kind. And there's always a story that goes behind it too, right? Whatever said craft soap opera I've come up in my mind. So I'm taking some sort of tool and I'm making the hole back through the front of the fabric, and we're just going to put a really little a hanger on this. Now, I can quite honestly tell you this hanger is for decoration. Now, it's functional, sure, meaning you can use it to hang an item, but I picked this thicker, it's like a 1/2 inch grosgrain ribbon, and I really like the thickness of it, so I used a little bit of fire on the end to make sure it doesn't fray, but I like the way this hanger hangs on the side, so I'm using the hanger to hang on the side. And then now this is little Dollar Tree wood cutouts. It says ornaments on this from Dollar Tree for Valentines, and I picked just a red heart, and it for what it was, this was like super fast and simple. I don't ever do anything this simple. And then later on, after I'm done with everything, I'm like, oh, I probably could have added some ribbon around the middle or found a way to put a bow somewhere. And I thought, no, it's cute the way it is. Now, hindsight, I would have moved it over just a little bit so the eye and the I woof you doesn't hang off the side, but tell me what you think. This is also a wonderful way. You could also use this for like birthdays too, because the puppy looks like he's sitting on a present. Now, we're going to move on to kitties. As you can see, we have a fish little thing here. I got this this is a Dollar Tree item. They're both, and this is a Dollar Tree Christmas tag. But the little fish thing I got during the summer stuff from last year. So like they'll put all that nautical stuff out. So I'm not a nautical person. I don't decorate for that type of stuff or beach house stuff like that because I live in the desert. It's just not my thing. But when I see fishies, I think of kitties, so I grab them. Now, I'm going to cover our little Christmas tag after pulling off the ribbon and the little pine picks on there. I'm going to cover this with some brown craft paper. This is a thicker craft paper that I use usually I use this in the background to stamp things on, but it's a very nice thick paper. It's not coming off. I used the double-sided adhesive that you use for scrapbooking. It's a good one. And now we're going to use the Christmas Kitties. I thought it was Kittens. It's Christmas Kitties stamp set from IOD. Again, check out miltonsdaughter.com for all of your IOD goodies. That's where I get mine. And they're wonderful. I was having troubles thinking, like, how would I lay this out? But I knew I wanted to use this somehow. So I thought about these two little kitties right here. Because, one, they're not wearing any Christmas hats. And it would be easy to cover up the stocking. Easy to get rid of any kind of holly or anything that specifically, says Christmas basically on it. So I'm kind of putting the masking tape on this one just below the border of the stocking. So it just looks like the cat's like hanging over the side of a blanket or something. It's just really, really cute. And then the other one, it's leaning on a package, but I'm going to get it to make it look like it's just kind of leaning off to the side. Animals kind of just, they get onto your sofa and they lean on it like they were meant to be there, like it was always theirs and that you bought it for them. And it was for them specifically, the reason why you purchased everything and put it in their house. Let's be real. Our pets are here because it's their world and they allow us to live in it. And that's how it should be. With as much happy, fuzzy butt, my mom calls them fuzzy butts, fuzzy butt joy that they bring you. What else are you supposed to do, huh? Now look at that cute little kitty. That's so cute. The detail you get on these stamps always amazes me. Stamp sets from IOD have never disappointed me ever. Every single one that I've ever received, I have never had a problem. I have never had an issue. Stamping itself in different mediums, it depends on what you're stamping on. If your stamp doesn't come out correct, more than likely it's because it's not an even surface. Maybe your ink is a little dry, but the stamps themselves I've never had a problem with an IOD stamp. And in my opinion, yes, the prices might be a little bit high for some of you on a Dollar Tree budget, but they're worth an investment. So every once in a while, if there's something that you can repurpose, such as, oh, now this one right here, you see here, I forgot to take the masking tape off the bottom. So you got like a solid stripe at the bottom, which is still fine. We end up covering that up, but you'll see what happens. But it's, I forgot to do that. We're going back to letterpress again. Here's a good example. Letterpress is a good investment. It's not that expensive. You get 3 different fonts, the smallest sizes, and you can literally spell out anything your heart desires. Also, this clear piece I'm using is called a thin mount. And it is literally, this thin mount is $3. It comes very, very big. I bought 2. One of them I kept whole for larger stamps, and the other one that I cut into 4 pieces. You're seeing me use one of my 4 pieces here. So again, take a peek at it, reconsider. I love using IOD stamps. You will see me use them very, very, very quite often on this page. Just my little spiel there. Now, as you saw while I was jibber-jabbering through most of it, I started stamping down horizontally and it wasn't working. I thought maybe I could get the letters to go above and below those 2 little divots or ridges there in the fish. didn't work out. So this is a permanent ink. It's an archival ink. So I knew it was drying fast. I did what I could to wipe it off, but I ended up having to sand it a little bit. You can kind of still see it back there in the background, but we're going to fix that with some distressing. We're going to put some dark wax on it. So then I chose to go the vertical route, and I'm going to make this one a cute little clever saying also. So for the puppies, it was I woof you. And for the kitties, we're going to say I love Mew. Because it looked like kittens, and kittens say mew, right? Mew, mew. Just in case you needed that, old MacDonald had a farm lesson. Did you know that kittens say mew, mew? Anyhow, moving on. I felt this is a cute little clever saying, and here is where we're going to try to cover up my little oopsie that you can still see in the background. I might be the one pointing it out because I know I stamped and then I had to change direction. But here's the dark wax I use. It's the other DIY product. Also, I get that the DIY paints and waxes and all that good stuff I also get from my buddy Lori at Milton's Daughter. Awesome stuff. I love this wax. I love it. It's not very waxy. It's a very creamy consistency, and it dries pretty quickly. So I decided to distress all around the fish. It actually perfectly hid what I wanted it to. And then I decided to add this around the edges of our tag too, just to give it that nice old farm feeling that I love so much. The stuff that makes me so happy. Gives me that warm, squishy craft feeling inside. So now I'm looking at these kitties and I'm looking at my little fish and I'm like, well, maybe I distressed it too much. It's kind of going a little bit too drab for me. And I'm saying, okay, let me get this Mondo Fabulous amount of markers that I bought from Amazon. You guys, I did not need this many markers, but for the price and the amount you get, you couldn't get a smaller pack without wasting money. So I got a massive pack. So what I did was I tested some off to the side because we did not stamp on white paper. Mind you, we put it on brown craft paper. So I was testing some off to the side to see if the colors come out. Now they dry a brighter color, but I wanted to at least put a few pops of color here. So I put some pink, corally pink on the bow, and then I gave that kitty a green eyes, and then I gave this guy right here on the back, this little boy kitten, I gave him blue eyes. And you can see the colors are drying a little bit there. It gets a little bit brighter, but you got to be closer to it. So the camera itself, I don't think shows as much detail as it does when you see it in person. Now I decided to grab some of my little Dollar Tree lace ribbon here, and I wanted to add some more embellishments. Now that I'm looking at this project, when I was taking the pictures in my garage, the little studio pictures, I felt like because I put these borders here, I end up putting another one on top, as you can see in the end product. You saw the thumbnail. I put this same border. So I have this gray grow grain. Say that 5 times fast. Woo. I have a gray grow grain ribbon here that I really love. And I felt like the colors are complementing, but I felt like since I put borders on the top and bottom, I could have taken another stamp and put another texture on the bottom or the top just to put something kind of in the background, whether it was like an adornment or I have border stamps, I have flower stamps, I have all kinds of goodies there. Paw prints would have been cute, but I actually do not own any paw print stamps. So actually I have something to put on my list. I need a stamp, a paw print stamp, and or some hearts or something. So this doesn't necessarily have to be Valentine's either. Both of them are just kind of like, if you know someone who loves kitties and puppies, which pretty much who doesn't, then this would probably apply. Now here I'm kind of dark waxing that up, and then it kind of got lost on the tag, so then I just decided to do the edges. That way the middle is still a little bright, and then I hot glued that down. So that's just another wooden heart like we used on the puppy one first. And then this says wooden sticks. I got them at Dollar Tree. Also, I know they have them this year because I just hung out at Dollar Tree for a couple minutes the other day. Just a couple minutes, not a lot. And I got some great news. Dollar Tree Pluses are coming to my city. So out here in Vegas on the West Coast, we do not have any Dollar Tree Plus anything. And I found 2 items in my store the other day for Easter. So I've got news that all that stuff is coming. So I'm a little excited to spend more money because that's what's going to happen. My husband was excited too. He actually is, though. He's actually one of the husbands that's like happy that I'm happy. So it's all good. I don't have to hide bags or anything. You know what I'm saying? That's a small blessing. So those little hearts and said on wooden sticks, if I would get back to why we're here, I guess they're supposed to be for like cupcakes or something, but I bought them and I just heated them up with my hot air gun to get them off of the stick. When you cut the stick off, you can still see the wood sticking out of the bottom of those little hearts. So I just got them a little warm on the bottom, and then that wooden stick came right out, and then I glued them to the top. So I put 3 of them on there. And here I just added a hanger to the top. Now again, I don't plan on hanging. I would not plan on hanging either one of these. I would probably use them as shelf sitters. I do a lot of small stuff, a lot of tiered tray stuff, a lot of what I call shelf sitters or table sitters, things that you would end up applying in a vignette or a tablescape or a wallscape or on a smaller area, maybe not necessarily your fireplace or mantle or anything, but stuff that you can see in your day-to-day, stuff that you would put off to the side, take a peek at it, makes you happy. That's basically pretty much most of the time what I'm doing. Now on the back, I wanted to cover up kind of a little bit more of where all that mess was of the ribbons and stuff. So trying to make it a little bit nicer on the back. And then of course I made a little jute bow there. You saw as I talked through that too. I seem to do that a lot lately. Jibber, jibber, jibber. But I think it turned out great. I mean, I played with placement of that fish. I don't know how much off camera too. I ended up stopping recording and just kind of messing and kept placing it different ways, thinking, is there a better way to do it? I had already stamped the kitties. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. I think this is precious. It's very cute. It makes me happy. And again, if you know a cat lover, this would be a really great gift. Okay, guys. Okay, now this right here is, I needed a way to display my little Tootie. I lost her back in November, as you know. If you've been with me, you can see I have had 2 miniature Dachshunds for many, many years. One of them, her name was Tootsie, and she just passed in November. Sorry, this is like the 4th time I've tried to record this. She was the best thing ever. And I'm going to use this white wax here to bring out the wood grain on this pretty piece of wood. I got this piece of wood out of a box of random wood pieces from Amazon. So this was just another way. I needed to stand because I'm going to show you in a second. When we ordered her ashes in her urn after she passed, I ordered a locket to wear around my neck, but you're going to see in a second, the locket, this thing is humongous. It's like huge. So I'll show you. I said this, and instead I'm going to make something to where I can set this on my desk and I have her with me. Now I had her little locket on my desk, but it kept rolling around and going under my monitors and stuff. So this was me making just a fun little thing for my desk to be able to display her and keep her with me when I'm working. So I had this little, I mean, I'm all over the place with this guy. So just, give me some grace. This was my baby. So the paw print was from Michael's. It was just a raw wood cutout, and I loved it. So I stained it with my favorite stain, put some white wax on it. I know I white waxed the larger piece of wood, so we're going to need to use a different type of adhesive. Hot glue is not going to work with the wax. So I'm using E6000 here too. Also, I put some ribbon around it. Now I got that doggy themed ribbon from Costco. It's a 50-yard roll. Why do I keep buying 50-yard rolls of things? I don't know. Please put in the comments if you're with me. I buy 50-yard rolls going, oh my God, it's such a great deal. 50 yards is great. In any event, this is the first time I've used this dog ribbon. Now, here's my little Toots. Little Tootsie. This is massive, you guys. I put it around my neck, but it literally felt like I had like a wood log hanging on my chest. Now, and then the little paw print, little charm on it was absolutely precious. And I wanted to have something with me, not just necessarily because we have a precious little box with her ashes in it in our living room. That's where she's at. She's with our other pets too. We've had many cats and other animals that we have their boxes too. And I just needed to have her with me. That's all I can say. If you understand, let me know in the comments. I didn't realize this was going to be this hard. Sorry. So this hook here proved to be a little bit difficult in painting. I got some paint on the wood, but I was able to get it off with a baby wipe. It's just some black chalk paint because I didn't want the bright gold on the top of it. Now I'm going to make a finger bow here. So I have a finger bowl tutorial that's linked in my description below. I made it a couple years ago. It slows things down, shows you step by step, single, double, and multiple loop bows. And you'll see I just wrap things around both fingers. And then when I'm bringing this back up, we're going to push this through the part that we brought through before. Now, again, that's probably the worst instruction I have ever done for this finger bow. But if you've been with me for a while, you'll know I do them quite often. And they're never perfect. This is, I think, the first time I made one that I actually didn't untie it. It's strange. Usually I untie them 3, 4, 5 times. Even the easy bows where you're wrapping them around 4 fingers just to make what I call a bundled bow, I end up redoing those too. It's like sometimes it's like you just don't get the loops right or the width right, but this one turned out great. And I also love the way that a finger bow, now single finger bow, sometimes, most of the time I do double loop finger bows. Again, the tutorial in my description will help you much better because it's in a better frame of mind. But this particular project was just too cute to not share. I love the way it turned out. It matches my farmhouse. It gives me a way to keep my little girl with me at my desk here, and she doesn't roll around everywhere. That little charm, it's supposed to be a locket. It's pretty big. Like my sister has one with one of her beloved's cats in it, and it's a paw print, and it's really small, but it's a good size. And I'm like touching my neck here, like you guys can see me. It's a good necklace size. This thing was absolutely huge. It's comical too because I'm not upset about it by any means. It's just I wanted to wear her and have her closer to my heart, but it's just way too big. So I just decided to do this because, again, I don't want to lose it. It kept rolling under my monitor or it would get stuck in the cord from my keyboard, and I didn't want to lose it. So I just decided, I can stick a paw print, some ribbon, a bow, and a hook on a piece of wood, and then I can hang her there and she can be with me the whole time, just at least sitting up looking at me. And that's how Tootsie always was in my office. Always. I would look to the left, and right now I see Zoe, my little Zoe. We still have our little Zoe, also 16. She's doing much better now. She had some neurological issues about a couple months ago, but she's doing very, very well now. I think she took the loss of her sister a little bit harder, but she is a wonderful little happy joy again. And right now I see Zoopy, little Zoe. And Tootsie was always there too, so Tootsie's still with us in this room now. But this was my idea, and I'm telling you, 100%, it turned out great. I love the white wax on the center of the paw print, so to me that adds the aged / farmhouse look. It's, you're faking aged wood is what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to fake aged wood. You get that gray look when wood is weathered so much with water and sun and water and sun. I'm just going for the fakest part of it, but it's enough to make me happy, and that's all that matters. So remember, whatever you're doing in your craft room, if it makes you happy and you get to from point A to point B and it's what you like and what you want, then it doesn't matter what happens after that. You do what makes you happy. And right now, all this makes me so happy. So that's it for the DIYs. I threw my little tribute stand in for Tootsie because it was pet themed to begin with. I wanted to show you guys some cute little, Valentine's type situation for the IOD stamps that you don't have to use them just for Christmas. And I threw in my little stand for Tootsie because I know a lot of you out there are so wonderful and shared a lot of wonderful, supportive, kind words with me. And you want to see what I made for my little girl and maybe give you an idea for something you could do for yours too. So with all that said, guys, thanks for joining me today. This was fun to make. And a little cathartic too. So I have a coffee page, and take a look to see. I'm going to start selling my DIYs. I'm going to be listing them there for sale. And should you feel the need to, take a look and drop a donation. Never required, always appreciated. And with all that said, you guys, I love you more than I could possibly say in words. Many hugs, happy crafting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.